Hello, my loves, and welcome to Create Your Life. My name is Simone Leah, and I am your host. And I am so excited to be here with you guys today because today we are talking about Soul Essence Embodiment and how knowing what you truly desire can help you to create a life you love and a business you love, and why that's important. So, it is so nice to be here with you guys today. So, what is this Soul Essence thing that I'm talking about? It's knowing who you are. It's having self-awareness and it's being embodied in what it is that you want to bring to the world, your magic, owning your gifts, and being embodied enough and aware enough to know that you have a higher mission, you have a higher purpose in life. You're here to create big waves and do big things, and you're here to be seen. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to bring your personal magic and gifts to the world. And having that soul essence embodiment is what's going to really allow you to bring that forward in a way that feels safe and in alignment for you. So, this is super exciting. And I would love to talk to you guys about this because I have been so connected to my soul and my higher self and my gifts for my whole life. That's nothing new. But I've never felt the level of embodiment that's allowed me to feel safe enough to be seen. So I've been psychic since I was a child, and I barely ever admitted that to anybody. Nobody knew for years, probably like the first 3 quarters of my life. I would never admit to that because I was afraid of the judgment. I was afraid of being seen. I was afraid of what people would think about me or say or do, or, I was afraid of the response I would get. And the same thing with music and entertainment and dancing. I was always so scared to be a singer and be on stage, even though it's one of my biggest gifts is my ability to sing. And I've noticed that in my business, that's transpired to me not actually showing up on social media because even though I knew who I was and what I wanted to do and create, I wasn't embodied in who I am enough to feel safe enough in who I am to show up in the world in the expression of myself and create the life that I truly desire. So this is what I want to talk to you guys about today because it's so important and it is a super huge topic, guys. We're not going to go into everything and we're not even going to go into as much detail as I'd like to because I could talk about this forever, but we're going to make a start. So first thing, how do you know what your soul mission is? How do you even know that? How do you know who you are? Well, that starts with awareness. That starts with self-knowing and self-feeling and getting to know who you are, getting to know what your values are as a human, knowing and understanding, okay, what are my gifts? I've known my gifts happen to be to shift vibration, and whether that's through singing or dancing or smiling or being kind or talking to someone, I have a really solid ability to shift vibration. That's been my entire life. That's a gift for me. What gifts have you had? Some people have the gifts of storytelling. Some people have gifts of organization. Some people have other gifts of whatever it is for you. It could be, there's a real gift in being nurturing and kind and mothering, or being someone who can just get stuff done. Like there's so many gifts. And knowing what that gift is or what those gifts are that you can bring forward to help you in your soul mission, that's amazing. So we want to start develop that self-awareness of what our gifts are and what we're bringing forward so that we can just know, like, okay, well, these are my values and these are my gifts. Now, how do I know what my soul mission is? Like, well, what is the thing that lights you up? What is the thing that if you didn't get paid for, you could do it every day? I could get on stage and sing to people every day. I could record podcast episodes and talk to other entrepreneurs every day. These are things that I don't care if I get paid for. I just love doing them. What are those things for you? Now, there are some great meditations and activities that I could give you to help you to understand your soul's mission, but we don't really have time right now on this particular video to go into it. But start to develop that awareness of your values, start to know, okay, do I value freedom? Do I value connection? Do I value community? Do I value wealth? Do I value health? And it's not even so much of a thought process. It's what's showing up in your life. Can you really say that you value prosperity and abundance if you don't have money? If you're in debt, how can you say, I really value prosperity and money and wealth? If you're in bad debt all the time, you have credit cards, you have loans, all these things going on. So it's what shows up for you and knowing that you can shift that to new values. So for my entire life, I've had a value of freedom. I've traveled a lot. I've moved a lot. I've done a lot. I've seen a lot because I value having the freedom to be able to play and experiment and live my life. That's a solid value for me. And so understanding what your values are, you can then match them up to those gifts, whatever they were, as we've discussed, and then with your mission so that you know what you can amplify and what you can outsource, for example. So if your mission is to be a world-class speaker and entertainer, but you hate being organized, maybe you want to outsource having a personal assistant or something who can keep you organized. So it's about having that self-awareness so that when you are embodying your soul's mission and embodying yourself and your soul's essence, you are dialing up the things that you're really good at and dialing down the things that maybe aren't for you and that you need to outsource. So it's super important as an entrepreneur to really understand and have that self-awareness of your values and your mission and what your goals and what your gifts are. I said goals then because that's the next bit. What are your goals? What is it that you want to achieve? Like knowing what it is that you want to achieve helps you, because then when you know what that goal is, you can back plan it. You can back plan what it's going to take you to get there. Someone who wants to run a marathon, they don't wake up one day and run the marathon. They train for 12 weeks or however long, and they have a plan of how they're going to be able to actually run that marathon. And so it's super important when you're thinking about your soul's mission to have tangible goals there that you can work towards. And once you have that goal, you can create those action steps to get you there. Now, how do we embody all of this? How do we know what our values are? And how do we know what our end goal is? But how do we allow ourselves to feel safe enough to be seen and actually execute this? That's a huge piece. As I said, guys, like for me, I knew what I wanted, but I would never allow myself to be seen. So what are we going to do to actually be able to embody this? Well, this is where the inner work comes in. Things like inner child work, nervous system regulation, things that help you to feel safe and get out of your comfort zone and stretch you that little bit. If you want to be a world-class speaker, go to something like Toastmasters and practice, or if you want to be someone who really wants to embody more of a fun and a lightness, go do things like improv class or something like that, so that you can start to embody that playfulness and that lightness in your life. Allow yourself to start to embody and become that person that you want to be, that soul embodied person that you want to be. And there are so many ways that you can do this depending on what your end goal is, guys. I could sit here and give you guys ideas for hours on how to do this sort of stuff. Another thing that I will say that I think has really helped with my own soul embodiment is having that full 100% trust in myself, my guides, my connection to source and the creator, my connection to my higher self, like really trusting that I've got myself, knowing that I have a set point, that I've never let myself go under. I've never let myself be homeless, and I'm not saying that it's bad if that is your set point or not your set point. I'm saying for me, my set point is that no matter what happens in my life, I've never allowed myself to be homeless. So I know that I've got myself. Now, for someone else, that set point might be having $1 million in their bank account. They know that they're never going to let themselves go under $1 million in your bank account. So knowing that in your history, that you have this set point that you never go under, it's like, okay, cool. I can lean forward a little bit because it's not going to trigger anything worse than I've already been through before. I've always got myself. And knowing that you can change it, knowing you can change your values, the ones we talked about earlier, where if you've got values that you've had because they're showing up in your life, but they're not the values you actually want, you can change those. You can step into being who you actually want to be. You can change your values. You can change your set points. You can change your mission. You can change your goals. Everything that you desire, you can change. And having that full knowing and trust within myself that I've got myself and that my spirit team's got me, my higher self has got me, the creator of the universe has got me. That also really allows me to feel safe to be seen and show up because I know that I've got me. So even though for years I've been afraid to show up on social media, or the last 2 years I've been going through a lot of things and I felt really afraid to show the vulnerable sides of myself. And that's really held me back from posting on social media because I didn't want people to see the vulnerable sides of me. I didn't want them to see that. But now I'm so embodied within myself that I don't mind if people see me when I cry. I don't mind if people see me when I'm upset. And what is someone else's words going to do to me? For so many years, I was so afraid of being judged and people saying, I don't know, because, I'm psychic. So, I thought people might call me crazy or like a fraud or whatever comes up. And for so many years, I was afraid of that. And do you know who that's been punished for that fear? Me. I'm the one who suffered. I'm the one who hasn't been following her life's mission. I'm the one who hasn't been stepping up and living my purpose. I'm the one who hasn't been creating a life I love because I've been afraid of judgment. And now feeling so much more embodied and knowing that I've got me and that the universe has got me and that nothing outside of me can actually hurt me, that has changed everything for me. And this is a process, guys. I have been through the biggest 2 years of transformation and healing and moving through my things, like all my stuff and doing the inner work on myself. And now I've gotten to this place where I'm like, okay, cool, let's go. Next level. Let's go. Let's go. Let's just show up. People will accept you the way they are or they won't. But I'm not going to hold myself back anymore, trying to minimize the effect of what could come back at me. Because by minimizing the effect of the backlash, I'm also minimizing the effect of the good things as well. And I want the good things. I want to be able to change other people's lives or help people transform or help people to create a life they love. But how many people am I going to help if nobody knows I exist? So soul essence and soul embodiment is having that really deep connection to yourself, knowing what you're here for, what your mission is, understanding who you are, your values, even little things like knowing your cycles in the best ways you work and the things that you're good at in terms of your day-to-day life, what you can outsource and what you can turn up. As I said, knowing all of this, and then also having that full embodiment of knowing this is who I am and I've got myself regardless of what happens externally. That's the embodiment. That's the thing that's going to set you apart. That's the thing that's going to take you to your next level in your life and your business, knowing that you've got yourself and that whatever you try, you're still going to be okay. You're still going to be fine. Everything is going to be okay and everything's going to work out for you, but you get to be more of you. You get to be all of you all the time. That is what that deep embodiment does. And this is what I work with people on one-on-one and in group containers, having that self-embodiment to know that you can just be you and create a life you love and everything is going to work out for you. And I think that that's such a beautiful gift. So I don't know if I've given you guys enough information in this episode. I do worry sometimes that I talk too much and that I don't give you enough or that I give you too much. But I think just getting that awareness of who you are and that understanding of your values and your goals and who you want to be and where you're going and knowing how to expand your nervous system. I feel like all of this is so much already that I don't want to give you guys too much more. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode today. It has been such a pleasure to bring it to you. I literally love connecting with you guys. So please send me a message, say hi, leave a comment, and I really do look forward to connecting with you guys again soon.